sometimes she feels like when it's just us, we're having a deep conversation. It's like you're intruding. Like when she's watching it, she's intruding on a conversation she shouldn't be listening to. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like nobody should be seeing half of the shit. But
you know, because I've also heard other opinions where it's like, oh, like they actually really appreciate it because these are conversations that people actually don't have.
If a girl, let's say, has friends that hate the boyfriend, it's gonna be a problem at the end of the day, no matter what. Because she's gonna have to pick. She's gonna have to pick one or the other.
Because think about it, there's some girls that are trying to fight for their boyfriend, so they might not see what their girls could do to them, because in their mind they're thinking, I'm gonna be fighting for my guy since we're here.
Yeah.
So even on this trip, I'll also fight if I need to. I always fight for my guy, but then you don't know what kind of compromising position you can be put in. Before you know, they'll take you to Chocolate City. You have sausage being slapped in your face.
Have you dealt with that though? Like, have you dealt with
what, sausage?
Whoa.
What's wrong with this?
I started working with my dad like recently. Before that, me and him never saw eye to eye. I never understood the guy, who he is. But now the fact that I'm actually working with him and I actually get to see the good side of him, and instead of just seeing like the angry side where he's trying to make sure that I do something in life.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he's just a very strict guy where it's like, instead of him having to like have like a heart-to-heart conversation, he just has to be like a and make sure he's like a strong guy, you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I never understood that. Promise you, if I didn't start working with him, I probably would have still hated him like in the back of my head.
What trait or behavior do you feel like was a detriment to your last serious situation?
You are now listening to the Blacker the Berry, the sweeter the juice.
Well, let's record it, right?
What was that? Your name now. You just say your name. Why you have to try? So DX, and then you say I'm sure.
This thing, you're like, you want the best of three worlds. Like
You're scaring. Now I understand why the girls are running away. Because all this time I've been thinking girls are crazy. Now it makes sense. Keyshawn.
Guys, it's literally just niggas. So I don't know what they're chatting. They're chatting. They surrounding Cal. That was all within the last 2 weeks that many girls have come on. Usually, even Keisha was supposed to come on this week too, but like usually it's mostly
so
niggas.
Was gonna have like the most amount
of girls within like that span, right? Yeah, like within a 4-week span. They're chatting. It's okay though.
It's okay, man.
Press is press. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about coming on here though?
Time.
Feel good?
It's time for
With
you
your
to know
boy?
who I am up.
With your boy? You know what I'm saying? You're in good hands, bro. It's me and Doc.
That's
bro.
what I'm saying. I'm like,
Don't listen to these girls, bro. They just chat, bro.
I'm just thinking, I'm like, what can Sheree fuck me over, bro? You know, so I'm like, there's nothing.
Nigga, trust me. Do I look sexy? You know what I'm saying? My girl's watching, so I gotta.
Yeah?
Which one?
Aren't
you
you
ever do a live?
No, we're talking about doing that.
IG lives now.
Oh, you mean like while recording the podcast?
Yeah.
No, we haven't done that yet. We should though.
Like on like some like streaming platform.
Or YouTube. It will most likely be YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah, it will most likely be
That'd be
YouTube.
sick, that kind of live.
Yeah, but we have to figure it out. We'll
I feel like,
do,
bro, if you guys
do
promote that, like, you guys ever boost your pictures and shit like that on Instagram?
Not yet.
I feel like, promise you, if you do that shit, at least you'll get a hell of people that view your shit, you know?
No, I know. I'm thinking of a good time to do it.
I don't know.
Like I don't want to do.
That.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth with the idea of it. At first, I was thinking, boost it just to speed up the process. Like similar to what we're doing with the shorts on YouTube. We figured out something boosts the followers, so we do that. But I'm now like, boosting, is that really like authentic? I mean, it is authentic because people still click follow.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. But I've been going back and forth. I think I'll probably do it. Maybe after we hit 1K, maybe I'll think about it. I don't know.
See, the thing is with all these like algorithms and stuff, it's just like, bro, there's so much like conflicting information. Yeah. Because like there's certain like things that'll say, oh, if you do it, it'll shadow ban your account, or like something about artificial followers. But then again, like off of what I've like tested with when I was running the Deviant Studios like clothing brand, when we did boost our stuff, that's when our thing really started growing, like our Instagram.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because I feel like even if it's not boosting everything you post, it's like imagine if it's like one thing that you see that some people need to hear about it, and you see it. Just boost that picture.
We'll test it out probably.
That'd be sick. I can't lie. Folks, yeah, you guys now they're doing on Spotify. You know, just morning little podcast. You know, like a little.
I mean, we post all our audios there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we do. Bro, we're thorough.
I'm not. See, me myself, I'm learning this shit too. I don't know you guys do that. I thought it was straight up Instagram.
Nah,
like
we're very thorough.
Nah, we're Mr. DX. We're a podcast for like. I do keep in mind that we're a podcast first, so audio comes first and everything. Yeah. Hence why, like with some videos, there might be bits that cut out.
Fair.
I don't really care too much. Like I've even been contemplating literally posting 30 minutes, and then you also go find the audio.
Oh, like for the YouTube.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what I see. I don't know. I'm still thinking what to do. But if anything, sure I would have known by the time I make the decision.
It's a long journey, man. You know what I'm saying? We're in it for the long haul, so hey.
Yeah, but there's always like keeping the idea that it's a podcast first, so
yeah,
the audio needs to be there.
The main thing.
Yeah, it needs to be there.
Okay, let me check out the Spotify. See what y'all post the whole thing or just like bits?
The whole thing.
It's all there, man.
The whole thing.
The raws. That's where the raws are at. Trust, bro. There's some episodes where it's like it'll be maybe like an hour, and then there's like a whole another hour where we're just chatting.
Like the
last episode. The last episode.
The recent one with Saron and Cal.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
That one I'm gonna post like an hour on YouTube, but it was like 2.5 hours.
That episode was crazy. it was a really good one too.
Yeah, I'm gonna like cut it in bits so you get like a gist of what was going on, but there's gonna be like a lot of like hidden things that you need to go.
That episode was
audio.
That was one of my favorite episodes actually.
Yeah, in terms of like fun.
Yeah.
It was a good episode.
Yeah.
It was good.
Would you say the most serious podcast you guys had with?
It's serious. I think the ones with OB are quite serious.
I think we've had some, and then I think some ones with just me and you too.
Yeah.
We done had some very deep conversations.
Like I think the New Year's ones, that was pretty deep. Yeah. The couple with not a couple. I think it was Isaac and I only did like one.
Yeah, that was one.
That was pretty deep.
It's usually when the serious ones are usually when it's just us. So when we really get into it.
I mean, so you guys can talk about anything.
Just
start the conversation.
You know. I feel like when it's just us, like we really get in tune with our what we're actually like. You know what I mean? Because it's like when you have someone else, you're like integrating a new energy into them. Yeah. So it's like we don't know. Like we're averse enough to like go off of whoever's on like with us on the episode. But like aside from that, you know, we can kind of talk about anything. So. But when it's just us, bro, we be talking. Because I was talking to this one shorty, and she was like, "Oh, like I told Dawson this." She was like, "Oh, like sometimes she feels like when it's just us, we're having a deep conversation. It's like you're intruding. Like when she's watching it, she's intruding on a conversation she shouldn't be listening to." And I thought that was really interesting because I was like, "Oh, like
that's fair."
You know, what I'm saying?
I feel like nobody should be seeing half of the shit, but
you know, because like we're like sometimes we really get into it. You know what I'm saying? But then I've also heard other opinions where it's like, oh, like they actually really appreciate it because these are conversations that people actually don't have, right? If you look at a lot of other podcasts, it's like a lot of the things that, you know, people talk about. It's like relationships, dating, cheating, like all of this stuff that like sparks a reaction out of you initially. That's what people want to hear about. But like with our podcast, we talk about other stuff too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair. Was there anything ever like you regret saying on the podcast that you ever said?
Nah.
Regret saying?
Not even regret, like you say, but at the end of the day, people just took it in a wrong way, and they be like, "Yo, you know what? I'm gonna."
Well, people took it in the wrong way.
You don't want that.
I promise you. I'm like, yo, I seen that shit because I'm like, the first time that conversation started, I was in here.
Oh he was here. He was here.
I'm like, the way you posted that, bro, I understood why people got mad.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they didn't understand the whole point.
I understood it.
I forgot you were there, bro.
Yeah, that's true. I understood it. But I'm like, that's just lack of sense. That's like what social media is. But then, like, I've been even going back and forth with the idea of playing on the like how susceptible people are to these clickbaits. Because I'm like, at the end of the day, I still want a bit of like authenticity, and not everything needs to be like clickbait. But then I realized the podcast itself is not clickbait, so the clips can be, because we still need to play the game of social media. It's a business, right? In business, there are games that are played. There are strategies
to make sure it boosts.
Even that guy, what's his name? Rich and Unemployed. That Finesse's Only Club guy. Like, the clips he posts are so provoking, but then you will watch like the 30-minute solo pod he does, or the pod he would do with like the women, and it's nothing crazy. Like, when you're hearing the full context, it's not as crazy as what he's saying on Instagram. But he's just like, look, I understand this game, and again, it's one of those things like you have to think about, what do you want for yourself? Do you care about the growth of the podcast more than the opinions, the short-term opinions of people around you, or do you care about the people around you over the growth of the podcast? Because then it's like, when you're trying to convince someone that this podcast thing works, you have to get it somewhere. But in order to get it somewhere, you need to do some of these things that instigate. But then at the same time, it's just like, they might not understand it. But then if you don't understand the long term, they'll understand it later when they sit down with you. And not even when they sit down, when they see the numbers, and then they'll ask you, oh, how did you get here? And you explain all this time when we were arguing before, when you're telling me all my short clips were too provoking. Now you understand. So it's like getting to that idea, and bro, a lot goes up. See, a lot happens in here, man.
I feel like that's the thing, though. I feel like it's not even girls. I feel like a lot of folks just overthink generally about like certain things that, like, once they're in that same moment, they'll start thinking differently. Yeah. But till they do, they're not gonna be like, oh, yo, I'm not that type of guy. But once they're in that type of position that they put themselves in, it's like, yo, never mind. I see why that guy did what he did.
Nah, but my issue has never been with what other people say. It's more of the people close to me.
Fair.
So I hold a very high value of the people close to me. So if anyone else says anything, like for example that viral clip, I don't really care. It's not, if let's say like
it feels funny for anything.
If let's say like my sister or my mom or my cousin said something, then I literally go into like, shit, I think I've been wrong. But then it's the same thing. They're still an outsider. They don't, like, I understood what I was doing. But I'm still trying to get to the point where I can stand strong in what I believe I'm doing, because I'm still very easily swayed by people close to me. So that's something that I'm working on. But
this is Mr. Objective over here.
I promise you, there's gonna be a lot of folks that hate you, but at the end of the day, only matters who you were around. You know, that's it.
Exactly.
Mr. Objective over here, man. That's one thing about this guy that I love, like, trying to like grasp things from others. One thing about him is he's very objective. So it's something that I feel like you can tie into like being an empath and being aware is just like understanding, like listening to something but not necessarily absorbing what you're hearing. Because, like, for example, you know, they're just having a conversation in the car about how there can be two sides to a story, right? Well, the first story you hear is the first. Actually, I think Saran talked about it in the last episode about the first thing you hear is initially what you're gonna form your opinion. You're gonna form your opinion off of what the first thing you hear, right? Until now, say for example, now you actually spoke to the other person, right? Then you hear what they said about the same situation. You're like, oh shit, right? Not necessarily that now you believe them, but now those two converging stories is now like, okay, like you have a better sense of your own now opinion of it instead of just going off of the first thing you hear and then reacting off of that. You know what I mean? So
that's peak, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, such is life.
I'm telling you, bro, it's better to hear both sides than hear one side and just believe it on it.
I think that's obviously what, like, in social media, right? That's another thing, is there's no real, like, niggas are just looking to react.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah, that's one thing that I'm now coming to terms with. Like, they want to react, so we might as well play into that.
Yeah.
But we don't say anything crazy anymore. Not anymore, just like we don't really say anything too mad. Actually, the first episode of the Sticky Situation, I've just finished editing it. That one has a lot of
really?
has a lot of
Oh, I can't lie. We were chatting that episode.
Bro.
We were chatting.
There's something about those glasses, bro.
The shades were on, so we'll see how you are today, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Nah, that episode was wild.
We were chatting a little bit. I can't lie, but I have to watch it back to see. I was venting a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Now you understand what I think. There's a part. Yeah, it's good. It was a good episode. I
gotta watch it then.
But yeah, that one's coming out next week.
Okay. Yeah. We gotta see what she's chatting about.
Yeah. It was loud. It was very loud. Yeah. Anyways, welcome to another special episode. I'm your host DX.
Train the cut. You know what it is.
Got a special guest. Mr. Man's back again. He was here for a short while the first time.
You know, just made a little appearance. Had to see how it is.
He's back now for the long run.
Yeah.
Yes,
Would you like to introduce yourself?
You know, my name is Chetan Jamal. Folks just call me Jamal because, you know, they can't say my first name. So we're going to leave it at that, you know.
Oh.
We had this conversation last time, too.
Yeah,
we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're going to stick with Jamal. I can't lie. It's easier, you know. But I can't lie. But somebody told me last time, apparently in Arabic language, Jamal means beautiful. And then, my first name is Chetan. And, a lot of folks say, Chetan.
Yeah,
or, devil. And then my friend, he just started making the joke. He's like, yo, does that mean you're a beautiful devil? I'm like, now you said that? I'm like,
is that what the first part means?
No. The first part doesn't mean that, but the way people say it,
it
means people say Shaitan. Mm-hmm. So that means devil in I guess Muslim languages and Christian.
Yeah, in Arabic it means.
Yeah, I think Shaitan means devil.
Yeah.
And then Jamal apparently means beautiful in Arabic language. So it's then my friend heard it. He's like, oh, yo, so does that mean your name is Beautiful Devil? I'm like, don't say stupid shit like that. But
what does Chetan mean then?
Bro, I can't lie. I'm not too sure, but I searched it on Urban Dictionary.
Why are you searching it in Urban Dictionary?
Huh?
You didn't ask your parents?
No, okay, because my great grandpa, his name was Chandermohan something, but they just took it away and they named it. But at the end of the day, I never asked too much about it, you know. But I have a different name at home, so it doesn't.
What's your parents call you something else?
Yeah.
What is it called?
It's Lakshay.
Lakshay?
Yeah.
You know what that means?
No.
So that's what your parents call you?
Yeah, they call me Lakshay at home. Yeah.
Wow.
Dead.
And what's that? Is that your middle name? Or?
Nah, it's just the name that they gave me to literally a second name that they call me at home. That's it.
Okay.
It's no ID or nothing, you know.
So it's not on your government ID?
Nah, I don't have no middle name or nothing.
Oh, okay.
Keep it like that.
No.
It's the home name, you know.
Interesting.
Stay at home.
Anyways. Mr. with the most love, loved in the city, Mr. CJ. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, everyone loves this guy, man. Look, only positive things, man.
We're not.
It's crazy.
Is that for now?
No, I'm just.
Don't call you those right.
I can't lie.
Most love, man. Look.
It happens, man. It happens when you mind your business, you know. Let it be.
Yeah, I mind my business too now.
Okay, so what's the difference between you two?
I ask the people.
It's because you have a podcast.
It's because I feel like you express yourself on this podcast.
Yeah, it's because you have a podcast.
So that's why people
can now form opinions of you. Yeah.
But I feel like people know me, but they only see the nice side of me because that's what I show them.
Yeah.
But if they actually want to get to know me, and it's not obviously I'm not a dickhead, of course, but at the end of the day, if they want to know me, they'll know the good side. But there's a lot of people in the city that it's like, oh, yo, you're hanging out with these folks, and then you have a bad rep. I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck. I'm having fun with these folks. I'm having fun with everybody I was with before.
Yeah.
It's like people just want to chat, and I'm like, that's the one thing that gets me. I'm like, bro, don't give a fuck about what these people say. Just worry about who you're around. You know, that's it.
Word.
Too many folks will try to bring you down just by saying, oh, you're hanging out with the wrong folks. Like, bro, if I was hanging out with the wrong folks, I would have known myself. You know. If I'm still there, just know they're right. If I think I'm wrong too, but that's what it is.
Fair enough.
Yeah, makes sense. Anyways, what's your... actually, I was going to say this, bro. What was your first impression of... what was your first impression of me?
Of you?
Yeah.
That's a very good question, because I promise you, I seen you on Instagram, you were just that fashion boy.
Oh, yeah!
You know, that fashion boy. Because I can't lie, you look very young. When I first started following you, it was probably in 2018, 2019. You was just that guy that just loves wearing brands and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then I feel like the first time I saw you was last year, September. And you were a cool guy. At the end of the day, I feel like you thought I was a dickhead. So that's why I feel
that's what I was going to get into.
Because I'm at the end of the day, I promise you, I didn't know how, for me, I like to understand people before I even judge them. So for the longest time, if somebody comes up to me and I picked you up, right? And when I picked you up, you were giving me good vibes, and I'm like, at the end of the day, there's nothing bad here. And the more we talked, and I feel like we just clicked. And I feel like the moment you click with somebody and you can see them every day or every weekend or some shit, it's all you need in the moment. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you might not be with them forever, but it's like, do I really give a fuck about what the future's gonna bring? Right. In the moment, I'm trying to live right now. You know, that's it. I might not even be here in the future, but why the fuck am I caring about it? So I can't lie. He was a cool guy, but there was a lot of things I'm like, I can't know, because I don't know who he really is. So like a lot of folks, that's what I'm saying. You gotta actually understand folks before you actually tell them, yo, I think you a chill dude, or you might be annoying, because there's a lot of people that you meet at certain places, like, yo, they might show you like a side that you just want to see. But the more you get to know them, you actually get to know who they are, you know? So I kind of like, in the beginning I was a little questionable, because like, I didn't want to speak about it, but we were just there with some girls, you know? So I was like, that was the whole point. But I'm like, the more I got to see him and I chilled with him, he was a chill dude at the end of the day. That's how I'm still here, you know?
Mr. Mysterious.
No, that's it.
No, the reason I brought it up is because I told him, I remember when I first met him, like, physically in person, I was like, I don't know why. So, like, anyways, like, the premise of the conversation is, like first impressions, right? But, like, I remember when I first, same thing, like, I followed him on Instagram way before, and, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, I don't know what possessed me to think this, but I just thought he was, like, a dickhead, like, and I've heard the same shit.
You flagrant on your...
He's not really, like, I don't know if it was the beard, like, I don't know what it was, bro, but I was just like...
Make it look like a dickhead.
Yeah, I don't know, but I was just like, this nigga's definitely, like, I just felt like he was full of himself for some reason.
Damn.
And then when I met the nigga, I was like, yo, like, this nigga's actually, like, the complete opposite of, like, my first impression of him. So I just thought that was funny, because, like, he's, like, and not just me, not just my, like, impression or my observation of him, but, like, everyone else's, right? Like, since I met him last fall, I have not heard I tell him this all the time, I've not heard a single negative thing about him. I'm being so serious. Not one single negative comment.
Turtleneck, bro.
I'm being so dead ass. Like, I've not heard one single, and I'm just like, it's so crazy how my first impression was something completely different. But yeah, it's just like the first impression thing too, because like you talk about all the time how niggas think you're arrogant, you're this, you're that, you're that, like how you come off, whatever. I'm even trying to remember what my first impression of you was, but honestly, I don't remember.
I was a great guy, bro.
I don't know if that was my first impression. I probably thought the same thing about you, to be honest. But.
Nah, because your first impression of me would have been in that class.
Yeah.
So, do you remember from that class? Or were you too busy with the babes in your mind?
Stop.
Because this guy was quiet.
I'm a saint.
It must have been for a reason.
I'm a saint.
Must have been for a reason.
Define saints.
I'm a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
Stop it right now.
We're not talking about present, we're talking about past.
Oh. When did I meet you? what year was it? There's been a lot of growth since then. Let's just say that.
So you're saying he was a slut back
No.
Oh,
Stop.
Okay, my bad.
He's just indulged in some questionable activity.
Less of a lesser good guy.
Yeah?
Just a young boy, you know, that's it.
Yeah, that's all it was.
That's it.
Alright guys, quick interruption. Make sure you go check out the audio as well. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to the audio. Make sure you follow us there and also rate. So 5 stars, please, 5 stars. That will help us actually get to be seen more. And also share it with your friends, family, whoever as well. But yeah, back to the show, guys.
He doesn't try to talk to these girls. But when he is talking to them, just know that he's into it.
He's deep.
He's deep into this conversation.
He's clicking the right button.
Yeah, I got it.
Alright.
That's cap.
That's the thing. No, it's not cap. Come on, let's be realistic.
I'm just a friendly
It's not
guy.
a bad thing. It's good to have a conversation at the end of the day, but I'm saying when you're into a conversation, this guy wants to have that conversation.
This nigga is chatting, bro. This nigga is chatting today, bro. Look, I'm a good guy, like I said.
Like I said, you don't gotta be a bad guy to talk to these girls.
Oh,
at
yeah?
the end of the day, they're talking back to you. So.
Yo, is it exposure rate today? What's going on, bro?
I'm saying, like,
This nigga Jamal is chatting today, bro. That's crazy.
That's all I gotta say.
That's crazy. But I got some dilemmas, though. I want to see what you guys gotta say. So, how should I feel?
Sticky situation.
Yeah, sticky situations. How should I feel about my girl going on an all-girls trip without me?
Fine. I'm going based on I made the choice of choosing this person. If I hear questionable, I've been in a situation before where this was like pre-18. The girl that I was talking to at the time, again, this is that forced relationship that I told you.
Yeah.
And yeah. So the girl I was talking to at the time, I don't know what change of heart she had, but I didn't care. She called me saying, "Oh, I don't think this is gonna work out." I said, "Fine." Bear in mind, she's just been on they call it interrailing, like when you're going all around Europe, right? She was on this trip for about like 2 weeks already. I think it was like a month. She was, I can't remember. I think it was around a month. She was already 2 weeks deep, and she calls me saying, "Oh, I don't think this is gonna work out." I said, "Fine." I was literally on the way to a festival with my friends. I said, "Cool, I don't really care." Then her friend called me saying, "I thought you'd be more upset." I said, "What am I meant to be upset at?" She said she doesn't want. Fine, cool. Fast forward now, her birthday's in August. She's already sent out invitations way before we broke up, so I'm going because everyone's going. This is the birthday with me and those other guys doing the striptease. Yeah. So now at the birthday, her friends are giving a speech. Bro, they were saying things in the speech. They were talking about their trip, and they're calling different names. Oh, do you remember this guy?
Dang.
I was like, oh my god, in front of everyone. I was sitting there. Everyone knew that we were together at the time, but obviously, like, her friends are just saying it based on the fact that we're not together now. So for some stupid reason, they're thinking it's fine to say. So now these parents are there as well. They say, "Oh, do you remember when this happened? Do you remember when this happened?" I was sitting there like, shit. I look like an idiot right now. My best friend, he looked to me. He said, "You?" I said, "I'm cool."
Crazy, bro.
Bro, I've been there before, but other than that, I don't really care.
And why is that?
Why is that?
Yeah.
I trust her. If not, why would I be with her?
That makes sense.
Because also, I know that if you come back and you've done something, I'm not here anymore. Houdini, I'm
Is
gone.
it that easy though?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah. Because the thing is, like,
if
you do something that is a crime, my heart switches off. It's not like something that I can question. If it's something that's wrong, if you've done something wrong to me, you've hurt me. I don't stay there trying to repair whatever. Bro. Yeah. I'm not one of these guys. Bro.
How do you feel about it?
I can't lie.
How do you feel about girl strips?
Previous me would have said no. I would have said, like, I can't lie. I used to be that type of guy who, like, yo, I don't know if I trust, or if I don't know if I can trust your friends, and I know they're gonna make you do something stupid, even though if you don't want to. But the older I get, I'm like, bro, the more you stress about shit like that, is the more it's gonna happen. So the less you show a girl that you care about little things like that, the less she'll ever have to, like, piss you off or do something like that. Exactly. So I feel like right now, if I was ever to date a girl and she was going on a girl's trip, I let her be. At the end of the day, I know I'm gonna overthink in my head, but I wouldn't show that to her or anybody else, because I feel like the more you show it, the worse it'll get. And I promise you, she'll prove you right by you make. Let's say if I'm getting mad at my girl, be like, yo, why you on this trip? You know, like, blah blah blah, saying, oh, you gonna do this. She might not even think about doing that, but now the fact that I'm out here yelling at her or telling her you're gonna do this, she might just want to do it. You know, it's like strict parents telling you, oh, yo, don't do this. Psychology, you want to do that shit. You know? So I'm telling you, I can't lie. That's what I'm saying. The past me, I've done shit like that where it's like, yo, I would get mad at little
Jamal
things.
from Instagram?
Yeah. I can't lie. I've been that guy, so I'm not even going to sit here and say that.
You're not that
but yeah, no, but I came like to a point where it's like, that's why I'm trying to be single for a bit. It's like, I want to figure my shit out. I was in a long ass relationship. Let's be realistic. But it was, you know.
What happened?
Trust issues. But anyways, we'll talk about that later.
But obviously, somebody asked this, so I'm assuming that he's either seen some bullshit on social media, or obviously like it's a dilemma that somebody asked us to relate to. So either someone, you probably seen some bullshit on social media about, oh, like, if you let your girl go on a girl's, you see all that Red Pill shit, right? If you let your girl go on a girl's trip, then she's definitely cheating on you. Like, there's a bunch of that like rhetoric being like pushed on social media. So realistically, if we're gonna talk about this and put it in a box, like Doxa said, there's no point of being with someone if you don't trust them. If you don't trust them, then you shouldn't be with them in the first place, right? It's a simple.
And then if they fail your trust, you leave her. You don't stay there trying to fix shit.
That's also part of the problem, right? That a lot of guys have. But
I feel like those same guys that say shit like that are the same guys to go on a boys trip and do something fucked up.
They're getting
That's what I'm saying, right? Because that's what they think about the girl being them is the reason. Because I feel like
why they're
thinking like that because they think that the girl's gonna do the same shit that they
would do. Yeah.
So
but also now, adding context is also what kind of friends does she have?
That's true.
That can actually change how I feel. That can change how I feel. If she has the friends that are like always shagging and they don't really care too much about me, and they've shown me they didn't care about me, I would be worried on that trip.
Yeah.
I would be very worried on that trip.
But I feel at that point you gotta be in a two people in a relationship. At the end of the day, if your girl knows that her friends hate you and they show that to you and they do that shit to you, she should learn that, okay, maybe I shouldn't be going on a trip with them.
But then that's her friends. They were here before you.
I get that.
And this is the argument.
This is the argument. Yeah,
No. I get that. You can be friends with somebody forever. At the end of the day, I'm not going to be the one to care. But at the end of the day, if a girl, let's say, has friends that hate the boyfriend, it's going to be a problem at the end of the day, no matter what. Because she's going to have to pick. She's going to have to pick one or the other.
Because think about it. There's some girls that are trying to fight for their boyfriend. So they might not see what their girls could do to them. Because in their mind, they're thinking, I'm gonna be fighting for my guy since we're here. Yeah. So even on this trip, I'll also fight. If I need to, I always fight for my guy. But then you don't know what kind of compromising position you can be put in. Before you know, they'll take you to Chocolate City. You have sausage being slapped in your face. Bro, that's out of your control at that point. You get.
Hey man, if she wanted to be there, she wanted to be.
Have you dealt with that though? Like, have you dealt with
what, sausage?
Whoa.
What's wrong with this nigga?
I don't see.
We're clipping that, by the way. I'm just letting you know right now. But have you dealt with like the friends hating you?
Nah, I haven't actually.
You haven't dealt with
I don't think I've dealt with anywhere that.
Like the friends have a vendetta.
Cause me, I personally, that's the thing. If I ever date a girl or even being with the girl, I like to know the friends. And if the friends are cool with me, it's better that way than having to be stressed about the friends hate me, so they're probably gonna try to drag her away from me type shit, and I have to do if the friends hate me and she goes out every time with them, their friends are gonna do some stupid shit just to me. Exactly. So at the end of the day, that's what I'm saying. It's better to just let the friends actually know who you are, and if they don't fuck with you that way, then maybe both of you guys should understand. But it's a friendship. At the end of the day, my friend's gonna hate a girl. At the end of the day, no matter what happens, little things happen, you gonna hate somebody. But you can't control everything, you know. So it just depends. At the end of the day, you're right though. You just gotta trust. You gotta build a trust. If you're cuffing a girl, bro, better trust her. See that deep breath, bro?
I'm telling you, bro. Look, it all came back to him. Look, that deep breath was crazy.
That's a raven.
You have to, bro. You have to.
I'm telling you, because me personally, that's the thing though. I feel like growing up, I had a lot of trust issues. So like, even if I'm in a relationship, I'll be like, yo, I don't know. Like, I'll tell her that I'm cool with it, but the back of my head, I'm like, fuck, she's doing some fuck shit.
Really?
And it's like, if I don't hear from me, it's like, that's what I'm saying. That's why I promise you, I'm like, I don't even want to be talking to a girl until I can get over that phase. And now more time I've been single, it's like I can actually do that. Because I see myself, I'm like, yo, maybe it's like, you know how like, let's say if you're trying to talk to a girl, you want to talk to her like in a way where it's like, yo, you want to be intimate with her. But the older I got, I realized, yo, maybe get to know the girl by being friends with her first. And then you get to see the true side of her, where it's like, if you're just going straight intimate, she's going to show you a guy that she wants you to see, you know?
Yeah.
But this way, it's better to be a friends with the girl so you actually get to see the true side of her. And then from there, you can see if it works out or not. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it does, it does. So
did you just give us your game plan? You just told the word of strategy.
No, that's not a word of strategy. But I'm just saying, I'd rather
be friends with him first. Look,
bro, that's not like it is. That's a true thing though. But at the end of the day, like,
makes sense.
Nobody really like. At the end of the day, a lot of folks get into a relationship in like a month or two with the girl that they're talking to.
Yeah, they don't really know them.
But they don't know them. But they only know a side that the girl wants to show them.
Yeah.
You know, because even like me, if I'm talking to a girl that I actually like straight up fuck with, and I know I want to just date her straight up, not even try to be friends with her, I'm gonna show her a side that she wants to see.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what gets fucked up. But at the end of the older I get, I'm like, you know what? Let me just be friends. And if it works out, it works out. I'm not stressing about me having to talk to any girl at this point.
Yeah. Have you dealt with that?
What, a girl?
Like the girls hating you? Or the girls like?
No, the girls always love me.
The
friends always love me.
Regardless?
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's been a situation?
That's part of the package. So it's not like when I'm approaching the girl, I'm like approaching
everything.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know how detrimental that
can literally,
you know.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy.
And sometimes it works in my favor as well.
I have a question for you, both of you at this point. Actually, you have to answer the question first, though. Have you ever had a girl that you talked to where her friends hated you?
Yeah, bro, it was a mess. But I can't like
pigeon.
It was a mess. I can't.
Yes,
he said pigeon.
Yes,
I can't.
Acting like a parrot.
Did it make you like?
It definitely affected our situation.
Yeah,
1000%. Yeah.
Especially if the girl is not strong in her own decisions and her own opinions, and you're allowing all these pigeon friends to just keep talking, bro.
Yeah. It was so messy. Holy shit, man! I can't fully blame them because obviously, like, I did certain things that I feel like affected their perception of me.
Yeah.
But like after a certain point, when it still wasn't like that, they were still acting that way, and I was just like, man, like, I don't deserve to be treated like this.
King,
I felt like I was disrespected. And I told her, I said, if you are claiming you have this perception of me, your friends should act accordingly. It's as simple as that, because your friends are an extension of you. Which is why, for example, say there were to be a situation to where, and obviously I feel like this makes sense, if I'm dealing with this girl seriously, and her friend disrespects me, I'm not gonna go and now amplify that fire. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk to her about it, because like I said, her friend's an extension of her. So I'm gonna be like, look, your friend is acting crazy. I'm not gonna go yell at her and do all that. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you because I'm dealing with you. You know what I'm saying? So if you're claiming you have this perception of me, and this is a real life conversation I had, I said, if you're claiming you have this perception of me, you respect me, whatever, your friend should act accordingly, unless there's a different conversation you guys are having when I'm not there, right? Because you're saying you respect me, you love me, all this stuff, but like your friends are not acting as if there's that level of respect there, right? And since they are an extension of you, right, you deal with that. Because I know for a fact, one thing I can say about my peoples that know when I'm dealing with a girl seriously is they treat her with the utmost respect, no matter what.
Yeah.
Right? Because they respect me, and they're an extension of me, so they understand how I feel about her. Regardless of how they feel about her, they're going to respect her. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just like, look, if you understand that, and that's exactly how it was, they respected her no matter how they felt about her, I should be shown that same respect. It's very simple, bro. A lot of these things there's no gray area, bro. Simple math, you get what I'm saying? Like, there's no gray area. So yes, I have dealt with it. It was, let's just say it was a thorn in my side. But I have another one. So the second one for the day is, my ex is still cordial with her ex. She says he isn't in the picture, but she still has him on certain socials. What should I do? This nigga's gasping over here. This guy's gasping in my ear. Is killing me. Like, once again,
reminiscing.
No, it's like, bro,
it's a crazy situation.
Because I can't lie, I've been that friend, and I know, like, I've been that friend where it's like you're friends with your ex, and you can say that you're
slow down. You're talking too quick.
This guy's talking crazy.
Have you been the ex that she's friends with?
That's what I'm saying. Because then it's like, bro, no matter how much you say that, yo, you guys are just friends, realistically, there's gonna be a day where you're not. Like, that's the whole point, because you guys are just trying to be friends right now. But if it's like, if it works out, you're gonna try to do the same shit again. Yeah. But I don't know. Me, I can't lie. I don't know if I could do all that shit. If I'm trying to talk to a girl and she says she's still with her ex, I would honestly, there's no point in me even trying to be the man right there at this point. Like, if she's still thinking about her ex or even trying to be friends with her ex, like, does that really matter? Like, why the fuck are you trying to be friends with somebody that you were in a relationship? Yes, it didn't work out, but move on. Like, there's other people in life that you can be friends with. Why the fuck does that have to be your ex? You know, like,
they shared a special moment, bro.
Yeah, but then that special moment should have been just that's it.
Are you saying you're okay with it then?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's a good question,
bro. Because it's like yes or no. Like,
what if she? Yeah, what if she does not talk to him? Like, this is the actual scenario.
Yes,
but he's like she has him on Snapchat. She has like memories of him in her phone. Maybe you've seen it when she was scrolling.
She has memories.
And just know that
she has him on social.
Piss her off. She was talking to him about it. Yeah, just know it's not gonna be
good.
This
guy, you're reliving.
Yeah, I can't like.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it is true though.
But not every girl's like that.
But not every girl's like that. But at the end of the day, if a girl chooses to be friends with her ex, she doesn't want to like leave him behind because she still has some type of feelings. And
no, it depends on the person. Like, you have to look at the person herself.
That's true too.
There's some girls where, for example, they're like, they're very strict with their boundaries. So now if she says I'm friends with my ex, you know that on her side nothing can ever happen. Like you can always not know what the guy is thinking.
But isn't that a problem in itself?
It can be, but then if she's someone, that's what I'm saying.
She knows
it's the
her
same with
boundaries.
it's the same with the girls and her friends. If you're strong enough to be like, you cannot cross this boundary, he would find a way to either respect her or to stop talking to her. Because, like, bro, imagine being a guy that's always trying to talk to a girl and she literally gives you no time of day. At some point, you give up.
Yeah.
And not just that, if she now brings a new man and she's always shoving in your face, you're going to retract because at some point you're going to feel like, I just look stupid. You get what I'm saying? So, like, that's what I'm saying. It depends on the girl. Strict, like, if she's got strict boundaries, then you can say, okay, cool, you could be friends with the ex. And then, if you also know the nature of their relationship as well, because sometimes it could have been a thing of they split up because they both knew nothing was going to work. Like, they don't work together. So, they literally just cordial people in general. Like, they're people that have sense. You know,
but if
then,
a girl is about to get mad at their relationship, like, let's say you're dating a guy.
Yeah.
And I'm friends with her.
Yeah.
Is it okay for you to be like your girl being mad at you instead of being mad at the ex? Like it's the same shit. At the end of the day, like let's say if she said, "Oh, you get mad at saying, oh, why are you friends with your ex?" Okay.
Oh, if she gets mad at me for being friends with my ex.
Yeah, and then like imagine if she goes, "Okay, yo, you're friends with your ex," but like at the end of the day, every time you fight, you go tell shit to your friend.
Yeah, then that's what I'm saying. That is now
context.
Yeah, that's now like if you're realizing this girl does that. Then you're realizing there's a weird connection you have with your friend.
Yeah.
Because
he shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
1P, bro.
I can't lie. For me, I can't lie. Personally, for me, I'll just say I'd rather not.
Oh yeah. That's what
I'm saying. I'd rather just not be.
Because the way you're over here, don't be over here switching sides. Look,
I'm just saying, why am I stressing myself out over shit like this when I don't have to?
Yes, no. No, stop. Don't switch sides.
I'm just explaining.
I'm just kidding.
Because I know I have choices. If you're friends with you, like, because there's so many reasons as to why you can be friends with him. I just don't want to deal with any of those reasons.
Yeah, or just don't tell me he was your ex. Because, girls say, oh, it's better to let you know everything. But I feel like...
You don't want to know?
I promise you, it's better if, like, let's say if a girl, I trust her and she doesn't do anything with this guy.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And she still doesn't have to tell me. Like, it's going to ruin my fucking head. By me knowing that you're with this guy, or you're... Even, like, let's say if she's hanging out with one-on-one. They might not be doing shit, but at the end of the day, back of your head, you're going to be like, oh, they're fucking. You know? Like, so why stress yourself out by little shit like that when you don't have to? You can be friends with her too, you know? Fuck that.
So what should he do?
What should he do?
Yeah, that's the dilemma.
Right. There's nothing you could do now.
If that's already the situation.
If it's a real problem, if you're having an issue with it, then, guy, focus on yourself. As in, like deal with whatever consequence you have to deal with. So make it clear to her, look, I don't like this. Then you have the conversations, because then that's where you get to know someone. Is it that you don't like it because of your stereotypical issues, right? Or is it that you don't like it because you see me do something wrong? Then you have that conversation with her and you see how she responds as well. Because if she responds by going mad, then you know, it's time.
That's what I'm saying. Might as well ask her and be like, yo, I don't fuck with you being friends with your ex.
Yeah.
But if you choose to do that, I'd rather be friends with you too instead of having to be stressed about shit like this, you know? Because you're going to meet, let's be realistic. You break up with the girl, you're going to never see her again. Okay? Yeah. But now you're putting yourself in a situation where it's like, oh, you rather like let her be, oh, I'm going to trust her, she's being with her ex. Stress about it, and then you guys still break up. Waste your fucking time anyways. Might as well just go away the first fucking 2 minutes when you have it, you know?
Makes sense.
But how about this though? How do you guys feel about your girl having guy friends?
I'm not worried.
Yeah, because he is the guy friend. That's why he's saying that.
No, not just one guy friend. Like, let's say she's hanging out with let's say she's the guy, she's just a girl, and then she just says, "Oh, I only like being around guys because girls are drama."
No.
Okay, hold on. If I'm attracted to a girl that has guy friends, I can stay away. If it's someone that I've chosen, there's no issue, because it's like
context.
Yeah, there's so much context behind it.
Yeah,
like there are girls that have guy friends that are not really
Guy friends.
Let's
call
they're guys on the wait list.
Yeah.
Let's call it a spade. Yeah,
let's call a spade a spade. Look.
Yeah, they're waiting for that off day she has.
Yeah, I can't lie.
Shoulder.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But then there are people where, like, they're level-headed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. Like, when we're starting to get to a certain age, you start to realize that people are serious in this life. You know? Whereas, like, a younger age, barely anyone is that serious. So we can fall into these, like, you can fall into that assumption safely and say, yes, you having guy friends is a problem. But at this age, like 25 and above, it's like people have serious shit with their lives. Friend groups have also narrowed down with a lot of people. So, like, what kind of friends does she have? Where did you meet her? Those kind of things. Because if I met a girl at, like, either a bar or somewhere else, and then she explains her life, and her life is around partying, and she says that she has guy friends, deuces. But if it's like a girl that's, I don't know, she's a nurse, and then she just happens to have had, like, classes, like, through nursing school, most of the people that were in her class were all guys, and then they ended up being friends. I can't fault that. I just know she's a serious person. These guys are also serious people as well. They're dealing with their lives, so it's not an issue. Yeah, you know, that's where, like, these questions now become, like, kind of like hazy, because now we're getting a little bit older. The people that were, hopefully the people we're interacting with, they're also getting a little bit more serious with their own lives, so you don't deal with it.
So a lot of things don't matter as much.
Yeah, it's one of those things. But then it depends. Again, it depends on the age. And
all other things.
Yeah,
other factors. Well, what would you say you like in a relationship?
Huh?
What do you like in a relationship? What would you say?
Well, I can't lie. I haven't been in one for a while.
Okay, so what would you say you're like now, mentally?
Oh, I can't lie. Like, I would say if I was in a relationship right now, I would just be like the easiest going guy, where it's like I can actually be friends with the girl that I'm dating.
You're dating, yeah.
Because I feel like it's better to just be that guy and then be joking around and everything, be comfortable. Because the more you do, it's better for her to feel comfortable around herself. Because, like, for the previous relationships I've been in, it's like I knew that I was trying to date them. So I try to show them the side that's like, oh, let me be that nice guy. Let me be that guy. You know, let me be this guy that they want to be with. Yeah. But now I'm like, you know what? I want to show the girls that I want to be. It's who I am. And even if they fuck with me or they don't, at this point, I don't really care. But
all right, guys, before we get back to the show, we just want to ask you guys to subscribe, like, and share. We're on the way to 1K, and we'd appreciate if you guys did that for us. Let's get back to the show.
If the girl actually fuck with me, I feel like they'll actually see that I'm a fun guy. I'm trying to be out. Yes, I go out a lot, but that's some things you got to give up. Like, at the end of the day, that's what I'm saying. Like, for a relationship, you got to give up a few things. And even, like, let's say if I'm hanging out with, like, a bunch of girls and she has a problem with that, I wouldn't mind as long as she tells me that, instead of having to be like, oh, like, one day we get mad at each other and she just brings it up, you know, like, bring it up. You're like, oh, you have all these girls, so I can't trust you. I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, you know, I'd rather just actually would, that's what I'm saying. I want to be friends with the girl that I actually date. So that way she actually knows who I am before she actually gets to know the person that she wants to be with, you know? But that's just me, though. How about you?
Wholesome.
What would you be like right now? If you was dating, like, somebody asked you out today, how would you behave?
If I was dating a girl now, why am I laughing? I think there's definitely some things I still need to work on, for sure. I think there's a lot. I think now I look at relationships to a degree like a business, right? And I look at it structurally. Before, it was more so, I just like this person, I'm dating them. Now, I understand that if you want your relationship to last, like I said prior in the episode, you kind of have to look at it like a business. Yes, Doxa said it's first. Cool, we'll give him that.
And you ridiculed me.
Stop, we'll give him that. But like I said, there has to be structure to these things, you know, and you have to, it kind of ties into what you're saying about being friends with the girl, is you have to take time to understand who you're with. Right? Because that person is not you. And I think that's one thing now that I'm a lot more aware of. There's a lot of things I feel like I'm aware of now when it comes to dealing with other people and being in serious situations with them that I didn't understand before. And that comes with age, that comes with experience, that comes with being in those situations, right? So I feel like now I'm a lot more understanding. I feel like I communicate a lot better. I think, you know, deep down, I'm a very affectionate guy. You know,
Sure.
I'm a lover. You know what I'm saying? When I care a lot.
Fair.
You know, I have a very big heart, so I think definitely those things would, you know, play into it. I think there's definitely certain things that I need to work on in terms of my communication still, having certain doubts about certain things, and that just comes from obviously things I've been through. But I think me now would be able to handle a relationship a lot better emotionally, and just in its entirety than like maybe like 2 years ago, I would say. So yeah, I think the main thing is just being a lot more understanding and observing your relationship more on the outside instead of just being in the relationship. Those are the two biggest things I picked up on, and those like encompass a lot of other things, you know. Yeah. You're up, bro. You're up.
No, that's the thing though. I feel like once everybody gets in a relationship, they don't want to admit it. There are certain moments you guys overthink about little things where it's like you don't even want to show the person that you're dating that overthinking, but the moment they see it, it gets worse. Like they see that, oh, yo, you're overthinking about, oh, I'm doing this, when they're not even doing it. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you're just pissing the person off. Like, yo, I know you're not a slut, but at the end of the day, in my head, if you're going out with a bunch of guys, that's what it is, and that's what creates more problems.
Yeah, the only thing that's
it's
something
like
to
doubts.
do with yourself, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The more doubts you have, the worse it is, because at the end of the day, you're just letting the person be who you want them to be at this point. So it's better just be ease off and let everything be. If it's meant to happen, she's meant to cheat on you, bro. It'll happen. It'll happen. It's rather. Would you rather stress about it every day or just let it happen one day and be like, okay, it happened. Now I know it is what it is. But imagine you stressing about it for a year. Doesn't happen, but you break up because you're over fucking thinking about everything you did.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from now.
Painful, bro.
I understand what he's saying. Initially, I didn't get it, but now I get it.
That would be very painful.
Like you said, it has to do with that person, but you're projecting that onto them, and then you now ruin your relationship.
Exactly.
Imagine now you're single just
because you overthought about it.
Just like
because the overthought becomes projection, and then you start projecting. You start saying certain things you wouldn't usually say. You start acting a certain way, and then you now fuck up something that was beautiful.
Exactly.
See
love.
It's happened to all of us.
Yeah, man.
It's happened to the best of us. It's happened to the best of us.
Exactly. Yeah. You're supposed to learn these lessons, and at the end of the day, I probably wouldn't have learned it until I was in it. You know?
That's true. Yeah. So, clarity usually comes afterwards.
It's okay. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Hindsight.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It happens. What would you be like? I don't want to hear how I'd be a lover. I don't want to heard it too many times.
Usually, because I came with the whole poem. Like, I'll be happy. I don't know. It just depends on. I have to be careful, like, who it is, because it's not just about being happy based on I'm with someone now. It's like I'll be happy based on if I tick everything that I need. It's like, someone that can actually like push me a little bit, you know, because I still need, to an extent, I need someone that would correct me if I'm going wrong, or even not be afraid to say, yo, this is wrong, or yo, you need to correct this, because that's what my cousins do. You know, they can, they said some harsh things, but I realize that I need that. I don't like all this soft shit. So, but yeah, what I would be like, I'll be calm. I'll be very calm. I'm not too fussed about what other people do right now. Like even with the people around me, I'm not too fussed on that. Again, like you said, letting you do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that also allows me to learn quicker about you as well.
Fair.
So, to answering the question, yeah, I'll be happy and calm. I'll just carry on as I am right now, essentially.
What trait or behavior do you feel like was a detriment to your last serious situation?
Yeah? Again, deep?
Honesty hour. I can go first.
Yeah,
obviously ask the question.
Yeah.
Personally or just in general? Like between you and the person? As in, is it the trait on your side?
Yeah, on your side. On your side.
Oh, yeah.
No, on your side. Yeah, on your side. That you feel like if you now reflected on it, it was a potential detriment or was a detriment to your last serious situation.
I was naive.
Whether trait or behavior, yeah.
I was naive, I think. My situation is hard to explain or understand, just because a lot of what was happening was circumstantial. It wasn't like someone did something or someone behaved a certain way. It was just because of the circumstance, it just didn't work. So it's pretty clear what it was. But on my side, like, naivety was definitely a big one, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I can't lie. Mine was always the same shit. It was always not trusting these women. And it's like, that's why I told myself to give it a long break. It's like, because at the end of the day, I keep thinking that just because the first one did something, every girl is going to be the same. So that's why I can't lie. Like, I was overthinking about little things where it's like, I don't even want to show that that I'm overthinking, but
it still affects
you. It still affects you. And it's like, you can't stop that overthinking.
Yeah.
So it's like, you rather just grow as a person and actually feel, like, see the people around you react, and then from there, once you're ready, date. But the one thing is, people want to date because they're fucking lonely.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that they make a mistake with. It's like, yo, I'm lonely, I want to be with somebody.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. Are you ready for it? No, you probably not.
Yeah.
But you just want to do it so you can tell everybody you're dating the fucking girl. That's it. You know?
So
overthinking, that's for sure.
God, there's a myriad of things, bro. Jesus. I would say, if I'm really holding myself accountable, I think it's gonna sound bad. It's bad. It's bad. I can't lie. But I'm a compulsive liar. Okay. It's bad. It's bad. But I'm not gonna lie. Like, my compulsive lying.
Damn, Daniel.
Yeah, that's just me holding myself accountable and just understanding that shit literally ruined my relationship. I'm not gonna lie. Aside from that, I would say self-sabotage as well.
That's the thing. I get that you say you're a liar or whatever, but I feel like certain relationships that they put you in a situation where you have no choice but to lie to make sure that they don't get pissed. You know, it's like, let's say, like, I was dating, like, in the past relationship, there was a point where I was the one that was the outgoing person. She was a homebody. At the end of the day, there was a point where it's like, fuck, I don't even want to tell this girl that I'm going out. It's not like I was doing fuck shit.
White lies.
You know, it's like, I don't even want to tell her that I'm not, like, back in my head, I knew I wasn't going to go do some fuck shit with the other girls or anything. But it's like, bro, I don't even want to have a stress where she's going to be like, oh, you're doing this. Where it's like, I'm not doing anything. But at the end of the day, just because she says it, it's going to cause issues. So I'd rather just say, I'm going to sleep. I'll ignore her.
I can't lie.
And then I'll go.
But at white lies, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, you knew at the back in the day, it's like, sometimes you got to lie so the person
You don't have to lie, though.
No, you don't. But I'm saying,
have to challenge
you're in a situation with the person because you understand them so much. It's like, bro, I don't even want to tell them that I'm doing this because I know they're just going to get pissed.
But I understand what you're saying, but, like, it's still a double-edged sword because it's like, okay, what if you told her you were going to sleep and then she finds out you went out? Do you think about that?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, like, I understand what you're saying, but like I said, I feel like just on the side of you as a guy, when I was posing the question, is that in itself was a detriment to my situation, just because I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, like, I'll just tell her this because it's like, she's. But then in that, when now she finds out that I'm not doing what I'm telling her I'm doing, I'm slowly breaking our trust. I'm breaking that wall down more and more and more to the point where now she doesn't trust anything I say. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
But have you ever dealt with somebody, like, it doesn't even have to be a girl that you're dating or even like a guy. It could be like a friend too, a guy and a girl, where it's like, let's say you tell them that you're about to go do something, but you know at the end of the day they're going to get pissed that you're doing it because they either hate the place you're going to or the person you're hanging out with or whatever you're doing, you know? But it's like, I'd rather just say I'm not doing shit, I'm staying in my house. But it's like, yeah, if they find out, they're going to be pissed. But I'd rather explain it to them after than have to be in the moment. Because I know a lot of people in this, like, generation where you say that you're not going to get pissed if I cancel on you. But back in your head, you're going to be pissed.
But do you know what that means? It just means that's not the person for you.
Yeah, that's
because at some point, because you're talking about a long relationship. This is not like a 2-day relationship.
Yeah.
So in that long relationship, if that's a concurrent problem, that means you guys are not having a compromise.
Yeah.
So it's not about her putting you in a position where you have to lie, nor is it about you lying and doing something bad to her. It's just about you guys have mentioned something to each other that, look, this is what I do, this is what you do. Can we come to a compromise? You said, no, I'm happy here. She said, no, I'm happy here. And then once you do that, you've essentially said, we're not meant for each other, but we're going to be together. So then now you're in this position where you're now putting yourself in these predicaments. Because then you're like, I have to lie based on... So I have to do something wrong to do something right. And in that being, I have to lie in order to protect her feelings. Those two things on their own, one is extremely bad, one is extremely good. But then in the situation, it just looks like a mess.
Everyone's a mess. For sure. So. Lex explaining you don't want to do, but it's like, fuck. I just want to be out, bro. That's what I'm saying. So I feel like that's what, like...
bro, it's like he said, bro. You just have to be with somebody that understands.
Understands you, exactly.
You said it yourself, right? It's about compromise. Relationships as well.
Exactly. Because if you're in a relationship where, let's say, the girl is an introvert and you said, or she met you, she knows that you go out a lot, you might have not been going out as much. And then she will understand that. She will understand that there was a difference between when I met him to now, so I will not have an issue with it.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, she's also like, she's also understanding. So you don't have to explain yourself too much because you know she understands that I've actually gone out way less.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the thing, though. I feel like that's what I'm saying. The next girl that I date, just know she better know everything about me before she dates. So, just so I can protect myself and you, I gotta lie. Like, I don't want to do that.
Protect her and you.
No, it's like
look at that.
I know, no, because at the end of the day, I know for myself, it's like I'm not gonna. If I'm
so, are you saying you were a compulsive liar too? Then?
No, of course I was. But I hate when people are like, oh, yo, you should change. You should stop hanging out with her. Or you should stop hanging out with this person. It's like, just because I told you something stupid about them.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, maybe that's something stupid that they just wanted to do with you.
Yeah.
It's like, people don't understand it. And I know those people that talk about saying, oh, cut this person off or cut your ex off because she did this to her ex. It's like, bro, you're the same type of person. You just don't want to fucking admit it.
Yeah, like even that conversation we had with John, like, there's two sides to this. There's the side of the experience and also being observant and learning from other people's mistakes. There's also the side of the person, the messenger of that story. Are they, like, what kind of character do they have?
Fair.
Do you get what I'm saying? So the two sides is that firstly, the experience and on the observation. Experience meaning that you don't really care what she's done before because it's never happened to you. You're a different person. And also she might have changed.
Exactly.
Or you sit back and you say, okay, cool. Based on her previous actions, I am seeing that this is not a good trait. I'm avoiding it. Right? Then there's the side of, like, the messenger. Is that messenger trying to get with her? You know, is that messenger, does he lie in general, or do they lie in general? Exactly. So how can you now trust what they're saying based on this person's character? Does that person even understand this, know this person? You know what I'm saying? So there's all these elements. So that's why, like, it now falls down to your personality trait. You someone that would rather experience and learn from your experiences, or you someone that would rather let me go into it, find out who she is. And then,
I don't even want to get. Yeah, exactly. I get that.
Yeah. So it makes sense what you're saying.
Disclaimer: this is like past us. We're not like that anymore. We're not compulsive liars.
Yeah. No, for real though. I don't know what lying is anymore.
Just clarity. You know
it's just it was a past. I learned my mistake.
We're good guys. We're good guys. We're good guys. Well, how do you guys feel about what's it called? Like adults being wounded children. How do you guys feel about that?
We'll say that again.
Adults being wounded children. See the English language, bro.
I mean,
you understand what I mean? You understand what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Maybe explain it. Maybe I'll get it after. Go ahead.
So the person that you are today, are you the same person you were at, let's say, 12 years old?
Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah, nah, fuck that.
No, hold on.
No, I get you.
No, are you the same person? No, but are you not still the same person? Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. It's I don't know, man. It's crazy.
That's the thing, though. I feel like that's the thing, though. There's certain mistakes you make in life where you learn, but there's certain mistakes you make in life where it's like you're gonna keep making them until it teaches you something. If that makes sense. It's like,
yeah, this guy came to preach. No, it's deep, bro.
No, I'm just saying, because at the end of the day, it's like, let's be realistic. There's gonna be lessons in life where it's like, yo, somebody does something to you, you're gonna learn to, okay, maybe for the next person, I won't let that happen. But there's certain mistakes that you keep making over and over again until it teaches you like a big lesson. Until you're like, you know what, I need to change who I am. But that's the thing, though. I can't lie. I've been to a point where it's like, you know, I've been over like to the point where it's like, yo, you're young, go have fun, go do this, go do that. But it's like, if you know you're living by paycheck to paycheck, bro, that fun is not fun anymore. You know, it's just, yeah, you're enjoying the moment, but it's like sometimes you just gotta think about the future, where it's like you're not thinking too much about it, but you gotta think about something at the end of the day. Like, let's say if I'm like, I was listening to this podcast, it's like, bro, you're not really taking care of yourself if you're not fucking saving up. And it's like, yes, you're enjoying the moment, but is the moment really going to be there once you're fucking 30 and trying to have a family and you're still living paycheck to paycheck, bro? It's like, it's not going to be there. You got to grow up at one point, but yes, some people, it needs like a big lesson for them to teach that point, but I feel like I learned my lesson, and it was like, I can't lie, it was like a couple of months ago. Where it's like, I was at like, I had no job, I had nothing, and it's like, bro, I learned, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be this person anymore, you know? So now it's like, I'd rather... I will still be out. I can't lie. I'm not gonna lie about that. Where it's like, oh, I'm not going out anymore. Yeah. I'll still be out, but now I understand. It's like, bro, this is what I need to do to fix my behavior. Yeah. And in order to fix it, I gotta just move a certain different way. But it's like, yeah, I gotta have fun. But there's different types of fun you can have in life where you can actually enjoy life. You know?
Yeah, of course. Because it's about experiences. Like, even like traveling. There's the exposure to different cultures and all of that, or there's wasting time. So again, as you said, it's how you approach all these like experiences.
I don't say, I promise you, if people think that making mistakes is a bad thing, bro, it's not. At the end of the day, half of those folks that even like me, myself, I want to learn half of the shit that I'm doing right now if I didn't make the mistake in the previous, or I didn't see anybody in my life making that mistake. Yeah. You know, so at the end of the day, don't judge anybody off a mistake, because everybody does it. They just do a different mistake where nobody can say shit, but at the end of the day, everybody does something stupid where they're going to have somebody saying stupid shit about them. Yeah. You know, so
I think the thing is, people judge other people based on their own, like, their own lives.
Exactly. Like, and I promise you, the people that hate on you for certain shit, it's just because either they don't want to do it or they're doing the same shit and they're getting caught with it, you know? So
yeah. Or they're not doing it as good as you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but how do you feel about it on the emotional side and the psychological side? Because it's like being a wounded child, like being a grown adult, being a wounded child still, essentially. So you're an adult, right? But thinking deep down, there's all this shit. Because it's like, I was talking about it, right? We were talking about how there's that jump. It's just like how a lot of people within their 20s, they feel lost. They feel like they don't have a purpose. They feel like, you know, then they're now dealing with all this other stuff, which is where we can now bring this whole conversation about relationships, where you're projecting and you find out you're an avoidant, or you find out you're an anxious attachment, and there's all this self-work that you actually have to do to now be like, okay, I can actually live this adult life, you know? Like it's like I don't even know how to. It's such a complex conversation, because if you really look at it, when you think about this conversation, you're able to understand why people do the things they do, right? And why they act the way they act, why they say the things they say. Realistically, a lot of grown adults are just wounded children. That's why you talk about people healing your inner child and doing all these things. And I feel like now I just really started thinking about it a lot for myself, right? Where I think so much, so I'm just like, I'm thinking about, okay, there's certain things that I do. There's a reason why I get anxious in relationships. Yeah. There's a cause and effect, right? There's a reason. There's something that triggers my anxiety, for example. So I'm asking myself these questions, trying to figure out why, even though I am legally an adult, right, everywhere, that this specific thing affects me, for example, out of the myriad of other things that I'm, you know, probably mentally or emotionally going through, right? So it's like, I guess that's just part of life. Just
no, it is like when you're learning something, the whole point of learning is like, or growing, is breaking down what was and like completely changing or making new something else. Like as you grow, even like when you're let's say you grow in your teeth, right? Your baby teeth fall out. That's a destructive process. But then the whole purpose of it is that you get adult teeth, which is a good thing. It's a creative purpose, right? So when it comes to like the inner child, remember when I told you like at 15 is when my life changed and you were shocked? It's because I made mistakes that were cautioned and where like I had to face the repercussions then and there, right? There are people that make mistakes and they don't face like serious repercussions until later on, or they're facing the repercussions but they're not addressing it until later on. Yeah. right? So it's again that destruction in order to create, right? When I made the mistake, then it destroyed that person I was when I was facing the repercussions then. But then what happened after was that I was now creating this new version of myself because I learned, right? That mistake made me learn. So there are people that can make a bunch of mistakes and avoid all their mistakes and avoid all the repercussions, and then they get to an age. Because bear in mind, time is just a concept of our being. Like, again, as I said, you are still the same person technically that's 12 because it's the same body, same mind, but you're still not the same person just because of different experiences and also depending on how you've grown. Yeah. So now, if you haven't learned anything and you're making a bunch of mistakes, that means you're still staying in whatever state you are. As time keeps going, that means time is leaving you behind. So your body could have shown you that time has passed 25 years and you're still in the mindset of like the same mistakes you're making at 3 years old. That doesn't make sense because once you now learn from that mistake, you now realize, shit, there's a long way to go to reach what's actually in my environment now. My environment is 25 years old. I'm still at 4 years old right now.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of work to do. Yeah. That's why you see a lot of people fall into depression because they see that gap. They don't see it as I've moved up. They see it as I'm so far behind. Yeah. Right. So, right, there's different ways to like understand the emotional side of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the essence of it is learning from mistakes. If you don't learn from mistakes, you're not growing anyway, right?
Would you still say that if you're not the cause of the reason you are a certain way, for example?
Yeah.
Like, for example, let's say fear of abandonment, or the reason why you have your anxious attachment in a relationship was because of how you were raised, for example.
Yeah, well, you used to have, if someone hit your car, that wasn't your fault, but you still have to fix your car.
Yeah.
If you hit someone or you hit something, it was your fault, but you still have to fix your car. At the end of the day, you still have to do something.
Yeah.
Right. So you being a child in an adult's body is still your fault to an extent. Okay, not really your fault, but it needs your action. It's your responsibility. That's the word. It's your responsibility
to fix it.
Yeah, nobody else gonna come here and carry you.
Honestly, bro.
No, that's the thing, because I promise you, the one thing I realized, like, growing as older and it is like, even like back in like, I would say even like a few weeks ago, I started working with my dad like recently. Before that, me and him never saw eye to eye. I never understood the guy who he is. But now the fact that I'm actually working with him and I actually get to see the good side of him, and I'm, instead of just seeing like the angry side where he's trying to make sure that I do something in life. Yeah. Like, I feel like he's just a very strict guy where it's like, instead of him having to like have like a heart-to-heart conversation, he just has to be like a dickhead and make sure you're like a strong guy, you know, at the end of the day. Yeah. And I never understood that. Promise you, if I didn't start working with him, I probably would have still hated him like in the back of my head. But now that I'm working with him, it teaches me, I'm like, bro, if he's at a life stage where it's like, at his work, he's stressing. Growing up, he was stressing. He came here with nothing. He did everything. Now we're living in Bridgewater, coming from nowhere. You know, at the end of the day, he did what he did. Now his whole point is like to make sure his kids are doing the same thing and growing. But I only saw it in a way where it's like, bro, the guy was never there for me, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, bro, it's never that. If anything, now I'm seeing it as like, I was thinking about it maybe like 2-3 days ago, and like I was just literally sitting at a spot. I'm like, bro, I could be the guy that changes our relationship instead of him having to do it. You know, I can be like, yo, let me be the guy where it's like, maybe I'm the one who needs to go up to him and have a conversation instead of him. Because I'm like, I don't know how it's going to feel when I'm a dad. Maybe I'm going to have the same thing where it's like, you know, where it's like, bro, yo, I can't do that.
Bro. You have shit to do, man.
Exactly. So now I'm like, bro, maybe his younger life, at the end of the day, he never had fun either. Back home, he lived a lifestyle where it's like, he was literally like, he never, like, when he grew up, like, he was born, my great-grandma passed away. Yeah. So he lived, like, I guess you can, like, say a Cinderella lifestyle. So his mom had, like, 2 kids where she would treat him like a king, whatever. He would have to do all the work and everything. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I'm, like, thinking about it over and over. I'm like, bro, the guy didn't have fun himself. So that's why he can't see me having fun and making sure I do it. Because at this point of life, he was already married and have us. You know? So at the end of the day, his whole point of me is, like, yo, make sure you grow up and have the lifestyle that you want so your kids can have a better life. It's like, you know, I never understood that. Yeah. But now the fact that I'm actually with him, I can see the nice side, him treating me good, having conversation with him. I'm like, bro, maybe this is exactly what I needed. It might not have been like, yo, I needed to work with him, but I'm like, bro, now I'm able to have a conversation with the guy where I can actually maybe be the one who fixes a relationship and actually have like, instead of me having to hide everything from him, I can actually probably go tell him certain things slowly. But it's like, back then, I promise you, I probably like never tell him anything I'm doing. I would like, there was a point where like in high school, I would go to Wendy's and like certain times if I wanted to go out, instead of me asking him, I would just tell him I'm going to work, bro. You know, that was the only way. That's why I feel like strict parents don't understand that they're not making you better. They're just making you better liars, you know?
Yeah, but as you said, the thing, again, goes back to that either you're observant or you like experiences. You seem like someone that is like, I need to know for myself. Whereas like, if you're observant, you can see this guy works a lot. He has no time to even address anything, right? So now you're experiencing the fact that you're experiencing his work and now understanding him through experiences. You're like, oh shit, he actually has no time
to do any of that. No, so, exactly. That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm telling you, like, before it was like a point where it's like I always told myself, you know, wait, maybe he doesn't have this time right now, but I knew that. But it's like at the end of the day, there was always little points where it's like, bro, he could maybe try doing something. But it's like now I'm seeing it. It's like, bro, his whole point is to make sure we have a roof to live under. Make sure we have food. Make sure his wife is
you're both speaking different languages.
Right? Exactly. So that's pretty much what it is at the end of the day.
You can't go to a French person and say, why can't you speak English?
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You shout, you see in the movies when someone, even like, especially like Hollywood movies, when they go to a Chinese person as an American and you're shouting your order in English, thinking they're gonna understand what you're saying. You know, so it's the same. Like, language is so much more beyond just like, because we're in different countries, we're speaking different dialects or whatever. Language is also the experiences that shape the way we speak and think. Right? So his experience is a way where, in order to show love to my family, I need to make sure they have a roof over their head. I need to make sure they have certain lessons taught to them. Your language is like, talk to me. You know? So,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Mine was like, literally, I'd rather get to like, me, I feel like if I had a conversation with him and I was able to tell him everything I'm doing, I feel like it would have been easier for me. But the fact that growing up, I knew that every little thing that he ever told me was him yelling at me by telling me. It just made it worse. It's like, yes, as a kid, it's like you can't understand shit like that. That's why I'm understanding it now. But it's like, over time, I'm telling you, it's like, maybe I wouldn't be thinking this way if it wasn't for him to do what he did, you know? So it is what it is. I can't say, but over the time, I guess I'm learning who he is and who I am. And that's all the whole point is, you know? So
makes sense.
I'll let it be.
What are your plans for the future?
My plans for the future? I can't lie. My plans for the future is like, I would say for this whole year is for me to actually get my life together and work and like the shit I actually want to do and work on it instead of like me just partying or whatever. And then after that 1 year, I want to actually like travel with the money I have and just then after that actually settle down and have a family because fuck, bro. I can't lie. Like me, I promise you, like
settle down and have a family.
I'm telling you, I would say like within like the next 5 years.
I want to
have.
I honestly was saying like,
look, not like right.
Like, we understand you have a beard, but you feel me? Goddamn, settle down and have a family.
No, because I'm thinking out of bro. Like we're not getting any younger at this point. Like yes, like we're always saying like my parents got married when they were 19 or 20. So at the end of the day, it's like yes, we're in a different fucking generation where it's like motherfuckers don't get married till they're 30 or 35. But it's like, bro, I want to be able to be with my kids when I'm in like my 50s and they're in their 20s and 30s. Instead of me having to be 80 and then they're fucking 20, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the only reason. That's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, like, yeah, right now I'm not ready for that. I'm not looking for no girl unless it happens. But at the end of the day, I know my priority right now is to get my money, get my bag. And if the girl comes, she has to understand that that's my focus. And if she understands that, she understands it. If she doesn't, she's not the one. You know?
Champ. So the ShoreAsks of the day is: would you help your ex out if they were in a bind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We have no bad blood.
Would you?
Would you what?
Would you help your ex out if they were in a bind?
I can't lie.
If they needed help,
I would. I would help, but at the end of the day, that's just not like I don't want like nobody to think that I'm doing this because she's my ex. At the end of the day, I'm doing that for anybody that shows me like a good person. At the end of the day, like it could be anybody that off the street. Like I promise you, I'm that type of guy. like every time there's like I work at an office. There's like some drivers, like truck drivers. They come and they just look vulnerable as fuck, and I feel so bad. And it's like, bro, at the end of the day, I probably don't need to feel bad about them because at the end of that's their life. But it's like, bro, me having to feel bad, it's like, bro, it's like it just hurts me. Like having to overthink. It's like, bro, I could have been like him. I could have been like that person, and then motherfuckers would have to like stress about me. But it's like, bro, I don't think it matters like who you hang out with, as long as if somebody needs help, they need help. If people gonna judge you that you helped out your ex, it's gonna be a thing. But at the end of it, it's not my issue, you know. But I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind helping anybody, but
yeah, I would.
You would help your ex, or you wouldn't help?
No, I would.
Which I'm just joking.
This guy thinks so. Which
trying to catch you?
No, I would. No, I would. I would. Yeah.
You would?
Yeah. I have a lot of respect and love for her. So
no, that's what I'm saying. So I feel like at the end of the day, there's no bad things. Like, to be realistic, you were with your ex for a certain amount of time, and you had your fun. Yes, you're not with them now. It's not like I hate them. It's just that I don't see myself being in the same situation, you know?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even want to say, oh, I can be friends with her. It's like, bro, I think the whole point of you dating somebody is like, yo, either you're with them or you're not.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is with friends is like, you get to pick and choose who you want to be with. Where family is like, let's say it's like somebody that's already there.
Your bloodline.
You know, you gotta chill with them. Either like, I promise you, I hate to say this, but I fuck with friends more than I fuck with family. Not like just my family, but like relative wise.
Okay, yeah.
I fuck with friends more than relatives because it's like you actually get to pick who you want to be with. Where relatives, they're just there, you know. It's like some of them, I promise you, they're the reason that your family is stressing. They're the reason that everybody in your family is fighting over little shit. Yeah. And it doesn't need to be. That's what I'm saying. Families just, there's some of them are annoying. Mostly, like, I feel like a lot of brown folks know this, that they love getting in each other's business to the point where everything gets fucked up. You know, it's like, it's better not, like, you can know everything and mind your business, and then people would know shit and then actually do something about it or tell the other person just so they can fuck everything up. You know, it's like, bro, just leave it. That's why I always love to listen to shit. And if somebody says like, oh, yo, this person does this, and I'll listen to it. I'm not gonna go tell that person somebody told me this about you. At the end of the day, I'm gonna listen. I'll be aware. But at the end of the day, if I go tell that person, or this person told me, am I really a different person from that person that told me shit? Yeah. You know. So at the end of the day, let it be, bro. If they need to show you that side of them, they will. If they don't, they don't.
Peak.
Yeah, makes sense.
Sweetest Berry. Sweetest Berry. So this is anything, bro. Anything you want to shout out?
My Sweetest Berry is Burna Boy's new album.
Yeah?
Okay.
Psych!
Rubbish
guy. Kind of fired.
I was about to say, don't mind him. He's a hater. Don't mind him.
He's a hater.
He doesn't understand music. Musically declined, bro.
No cap. I put him on a lot of music, my dude.
You didn't put me on. You put me on a few Afro songs. Now you think you're top shit, nigga. Stop. Moment of Your Life by Brent Faiyaz. You know what I'm saying? His new single with Coco Jones.
How much does this guy pay you, bro?
He's not paying me anything, bro. He's just, you feel me?
He's moving feelings on that.
Nah, bro. He's pushing the culture forward. You feel me? Yeah, no cap.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
There used to be more honest guys around. You know what I'm saying? There aren't that many left. So.
Sweetest Berry. What's my Sweetest Berry, man? I'm trying to say that podcast I told you about, the Diary of CEO. Yeah, it's a sick podcast. Like, so I started watching, like, obviously just as recent stuff. Some guy that owns a marketing marketing company, and he's a CEO. He started the podcast basically just like his own diary. Mm-hmm. So I started obviously recent episodes, and like he's interviewing different people that are either like made it or something, or they're actual CEOs of businesses and stuff like that. His page is like 3 million. Crazy. Damn. But I was just like, let me actually go to the very first. Let's hear from the beginning. Bro, this guy was raw. Like, he was like, bro, this is like intrusive. Damn near intrusive. Talking about, I miss my ex. I'm like, wow. Yeah. Bro, I'm sitting there like, bro.
Does anyone else want to say that for the camera?
No. You're saying this to everyone? It was like, you're not like you're not like a random guy. You're well known.
He misses you. Y'all don't know who it is.
But yeah, Diary of a CEO. The Diary of a CEO. That's the podcast. It's pretty sick podcast actually. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. I feel like the one thing about podcasts or even a person like how like let's say what's his name Andrew Tate what's
yeah.
At the end of the day, I feel like a lot of people are hurt what he says because he just lets out whatever comes to his mind. But
he plays the game.
He plays the game, but I'm like
he admitted in one interview he had that he exaggerates a lot because he knows
that's exactly what's gonna
trigger,
get
bro.
Yeah. Exactly,
Human
but it's
emotion.
like no, exactly. But at the end of the day, a lot of things he says make sense,
Yeah.
but people just don't want to understand it.
Yeah,
because the half of the shit he says is
it's
bullshit.
crazy, yeah.
So they rather hear about the bullshit. It's like you know what, everything he says is just crap. You know.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing. Even like you guys, I feel like at the end of the day, like it's not like you guys are spitting facts every time you see. But at the end of the day, there's moments where you do, and some people just want to hear that or need to hear that. You know, in order for them to like be like, you know what, I will think differently just because I heard this today.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
So at the end of the day, every podcast is for a reason. You guys are doing what you're doing. And it's
exactly.
working,
Out here trying to find our reason, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are we your Sweetest Berry? BlackerTheBerry pod.
Do you want to shout out your ex?
Yeah.
You want to shout out your ex?
Him?
Who?
You.
What?
Do you want to shout?
out
Did
your
you
ex?
say yes?
No.
Looking
No, thank
ass. Looking ass.
No, thank you.
No, anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Make sure you subscribe and all
Subscribe.
For real.
that. But yeah, BlackerTheBerry.
Sweeter the juice, man. You know what it is.
Yeah.